Greetings, Taurus. Thanks for joining me today. This is your reading for this up and coming full moon in Cancer on the 19th. It is here in Aotearoa. So today we're starting with a shortened Celtic cross for you. I've laid the cards, everything's face down. A couple of cards at the end face down, but we're going to read. I've just opened one of my favourite books randomly at a page. And we're going to read the first paragraph. The book is a book of symbols. It's a Taschen book. It's an amazing collection of artwork and antiquities in this book. And for Taurus, we randomly opened it at the crown, if you can see that amazing crown. Anyone who has ever seen the crown of a monarch cannot fail to be struck by the majesty emanating from the soft cluster of precious gems and coronal radiance of gold. The coronation is a solificatio for the for the crowned head is identified with the sun and its force of life and fertility, which in the crowning of a sovereign is conferred on the whole kingdom. Nature preceded us not only with the sun, but the lovely yellow coronas in the centre of flowers, the brilliant crown-like plumage of many birds, and the horns on animals. 2,000 years ago, Gnostic gems portrayed the 7 or 12-rayed crown of light on the head of Agatha-Damon, the tail-eating serpent of wisdom. In the alchemical fantasy, earthly metals and gems corresponded to the distinct qualities projected on planetary and sidereal luminaries. So we're looking at the crown as a sort of connection with the stars. The crown was emblematic of the goal of the opus to synthesize these elements with the sun, or at the psychological level to integrate the diverse properties of the totality of the self with the sunlight consciousness. It is powerful. This book is wonderfully lyrical. I love it. So that was just a random thing that we're doing for all the readings this week. So to begin with, let's turn over your central point, the issue at hand and what's crossing you, issue, whatever that may be. We get the 10 of discs, a card of wonderful material fulfillment, yes, but it also relates to our familial connections, where we come from, our values and our loyalties. As much as seeing that on the earth, in the earthly sense, what we value and hold important surrounds us. With that, we have it crossed by the Strength card. In the Thoth deck, the Strength card is called Lust because it indicates that we've overcome and we are in control in a way of the many-headed beast here. It has been aware of being of having overcome taming of our own beast, the inner mind, the inner voice, the whatever the hurdles are, understanding the difference, separation of ego, psyche, the conscious, subconscious. So it's all quite full on here. It's as if there is you do have a new understanding. You also have a wonderful support network around you, Taurus, at this time. The basis of this is, as I do feel with the Princess of Wands here, freedom of expression, the need to express in whatever way, the need to break free of anything that you would think of were sort of boundaries that you put on yourself. This is a wonderful card of creative expression, and in turn a purification of sorts, a sort of clearing out to herald in newness. Here we have an altar of roses in this card, which are a flame. It's a really impassioned, very creative, and sort of, in some ways, baptismal card, purification through the fires of will and intent and passion. So it's quite full on. What's recently passed is the Knight of Discs, a time of really managing things, maybe, not so much in the creative sense, like in the creational sense, but in management of whatever's been going on for you. We will clarify this. Current position, we have adjustment, which is the Justice card. Maybe you feel, this is clearly, it's a time where, you're surrounded with all the supports, love of family, all of these wonderful things, which seems, in this reading, seems to be allowing you the time or the ability to see what it is you want to bring forth. I mean, in terms of creativity, it could be music, it could be projects, or wanting to go out into aspects of the community. I mean, it might be a great desire to volunteer, or it could be anything here. But currently, it's sort of like, okay, well, we're trying to seek a balance, more of a balance. And of course, balance is everything, balancing the internal with the external world and all of that. Moving forward, we have the Five of Cups. There may be a hesitancy in venturing into something new or giving birth to something new. There might be a hesitancy within yourself, because this is a reasonably secure and safe place for that night. It's literally, managing what's been seeds that have been planted before, as it were. So moving forward, we have the Five of Cups, which is a card of disappointment in some ways, or we remember melancholy. Sometimes we feel it. We remember what disappointment has been for us in the past, but we don't want to let that stop us from experimenting or doing some new things here. So let's just go through and clarify, because I think in the central point here, you've understood that that you do have a great you've got a great understanding of your own needs here. You've really had time to kind of think about that, Taurus. So, and you've got great support around you. So let's just clarify. Can we clarify the Strength card? Actually, clarify that. Yeah, memories. Memories from childhood dreams. I always think of often with the Six of Cups. It's a wonderful card of balance, reciprocity, all of those wonderful things being a six. And on an emotional level, it's about remembering. It's about people coming back from your past potentially as well, in a very basic sense. But I think in this, it's like you've been thinking. I mean, you've been going back, is what I get from this. And this is where you've sort of embodied strength. It's like some things have become kind of quite clear to you. This is a lot of internal work here. Let's clarify the Princess of Wands, please. Princess of Wands, please. And we get the Empress. Look, it's a wonderful thing to be creative and nurturing, and I mean this in the sense that because there's a sort of mirrored thing happening here with these two cards, is what I'm getting, Taurus, is now is the time, in the expression, all the vitality and expression of the Princess of Wands here, and all of that, and embodying all of that, you're really offering the Empress as this uber nurturing, creative and fertile archetype. You're really offering that to yourself by embodying this sort of these pursuits or ideas that that you want to sort of experiment or go in various directions, try out some new things. I mean, in the creative sense, that in doing that, you're really offering yourself the ultimate in nurturing at this time. If that's, if that makes sense to anyone out there, if it does, that's great. These these readings, of course, are incredibly general. So, yeah, there is a mirroring, and embodying that. You're offering that nurturing that you offer to everyone else to yourself. We get the Two of Cups coming out, another really balanced card. I always think of it as the most harmonious card because we see this mutual giving and receiving. It sort of balances out that liminal space between you and the rest of the world, Taurus, in a lot of respects, if you think about it. As a nurturer for others, and an inspirer of others as well. You in this, what I see on the table here today is that you really want to be offering that to yourself also. It's sort of like bridging that liminal space. You already have been for a long time, I guess, been doing that for others, and here's the opportunity here somewhere to do it for yourself, and this will bring you a really greater sense of well-being and balance. So it's pretty amazing. Let's just look at where are we? Let's look at what we got. Yeah, there's a message in that. We're looking at that five of cups here, and also the Justice card. Ultimate balance and justice. In the five, we understand, that levels of discomfort usually occur before something, before a shift in perspective, or you know what I mean? Like you want to venture into something new. We often have that level of discomfort before we do that because there are unknowns. What I find interesting is that, speaking of well-being coming from balance, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is, again, putting, as I said before, the Knight of Discs manages those prior seeds that were sown, you know what I mean? Now, this little page is sowing those seeds again, and it could be not necessarily in the physical world at this point, but they're being sown, Taurus. Second card to clarify justice and the Five of Cups. We have this is giving you great pleasure and a real inspirational zing with the Sun. We have the Sun here. Again, a very childlike card, a very child, we're remembering what we dreamt, what we wanted to be, or what we wanted to do, or whatever, as children. And then we have the Lovers. This can be about relationships, of course, and choices in that. But it is ultimately about a synthesizing process, a synthesis, or more of an integration, a balancing, a rebalancing of dualities within yourself. And what I do get again, with this reading is that, rebalancing somehow your inner world with your outer world, Taurus. So it's pretty glorious, and the vehicle for doing that is your own expression, your own self-expression, new projects, whatever. That's the vehicle in order to create that sort of level of balance within yourself at the moment. So that's really amazing. With the I do feel that there are other people with you, or a lot of people supporting you in this too. With the Kim Cran's animal cards, we get the wolf. Look, we know the loyalty involved in the pack, within the family unit or within our community, loyalties, obligations, all of that kind of thing. But if we had any doubts about, spending more time on ourselves or our pursuits or new projects, whatever they may be, in order to fulfill something within ourselves, I wouldn't be concerned about that. There's great support and acceptance and no judgment around you at this current time, Taurus, which is really beautiful. Today, with the Journey Map card, which is face down, we have eruption. This could be a whole new beginning of a whole new kind of thing for you. These seeds that you're planting them. So it's inevitable that they're going to start to be seen in your world. You'll make form out of these seeds of thought. So with the Journey Map, we have eruption, and I'm going to number 38. We're going to read from the book for a change, because I often just do a general fluffing over, the meanings sometimes. So let's look at eruption for you today, a beautiful card. So this is about rebooting, rebirthing, all the regeneration. When eruption appears, it speaks of breaking up of the old, dissipation to make way for the new. This is necessary at times, and on many occasions you'll see it unfolding before it actually happens. It often occurs when you have allowed yourself to be overwhelmed by events, dramas often created by others, and you understand it is time for the big spring clean. You also understand here that if you try to avoid it, the universe will sort of, it'll happen anyway, I guess. Though often unsettling, you will find as the ash settles, that feeling of discomfort before you begin something new. As the ash settles and the smoke clears, a calmness comes over you. You feel a new sense of freedom is within your grasp. Look at the crystalline beauty of obsidian to see what the result of an eruption can produce. Clarity, reflection, solidity, and a wonderful renewed strength, Taurus, within you. This is the path that you are already on, I feel, with this reading. So on that note, thank you very much for joining me today, and have a wonderful week. Thanks, Taurus. Bye. Rakite. Bye.